I would ask that you join us for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the first order of business for us this morning is the approval of our minutes from Monday, May 18th.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we approve those minutes as submitted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. All the presentations of accounts payable vouchers.
Mr. President, I'd like to recommend the claims from May 22nd, 2020 through June 1st, 2020 be approved without exception.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion passes.
Mr. President, I would also like to recommend the payroll dated May 29th, 2020 be approved without exception.
So move.
Second.
Again, have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay, we have some work with the area plan.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion we hear ordinance 2020-03-CM.
Second.
Good morning, everybody. Dan Teeter, attorney with Riley, Teeter and Schreier, represent the petitioner. Pat Cunningham is the engineer on the project. He's present to answer any questions. We received a favorable staff recommendation as well as a unanimous yes vote from Area Plan Commission to rezone this property to PDRS. This is a 107-lot single-family development with 6 common area outlots and private streets. This request completes the planned development phase that we had started on to the north. The lots in this phase will be substantially larger than those lots. Generally, the lots are 67 feet wide, 115 feet to 125 feet deep. The house product that they're going to build will be 55-foot wide house with 60 feet in depth. That depth may increase depending upon the amenities that a client would want for their particular house. The project has many amenities besides that. There's a walking trail around the entire project. There's a pond in the middle of the project. It also has a walking trail around it, and it's bordered by many of the lots. There's also the southern lots, or the majority of the southern lots, all border the golf course, so an additional amenity there as well. We have common area outlots for parking, since there's no parking on the street. We think that's an additional amenity as well. The landscaping plan for this project is pretty exceptional. Staff reiterated that in their report a couple of times. We think it's to a higher standard. I think it's something that everybody could be very proud of. In addition to the ponds, the walking trails, the landscaping, common area parking sites, there's an existing clubhouse, pool, soccer field, volleyball court, and horseshoe area. So a lot of amenities that we have there. We also have an HOA. The fee for that monthly is $140. That'll include grass mowing, snow removal for streets and sidewalks as well, gutter cleaning, and some painting. We think this is a terrific addition to the county, and we would respectfully request your approval. I'd be happy to respond to any comments or questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Teeter?
I just have one for you, Dan. Is this about the final phase for Stonehenge, or are you still looking at that little section to the west? Is that the only?
This is the final stage. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything from staff?
I just wanted to say that that little section to the west has preliminary approval for the last subdivision phase.
Okay.
And do we have any public comment? No public comment?
Ready?
Uh-huh.
Brown,
Yes.
Murtaugh,
Yes.
Byers.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-03 CM passes 3-0.
Mr. President, I move that we hear ordinance 2020-04-CM, GB to I3.
Mr. Teeter?
Thank you again for the record. Dan Teeter, attorney with Riley, Teeter, and Schreier, represent the petitioner. Petitioner is doing this on behalf of Lafayette Tents and Events. We received a favorable staff report, unanimous yes vote from the Area Planning Commission to rezone this to I3. Everything around it is I3. Lafayette Tent and Events wanting to create an outside storage area for materials associated with the tent business. They own adjacent property to the east on County Road 460 East. They plan to locate their business to this particular site, moving from downtown as well as Concord Road. They need this room to consolidate all that, and they like this area for the logistics of it to go to other places throughout the state. They purchased this business from Lafayette Tent and Awnings. The downtown area, or the downtown buildings, are still owned by the Ebershoff family. That's not changing at this point. I would also say that this rezoned I3 will follow the adopted land use plan for the area and get it back to where it should be. So with that, we would respectfully request your approval. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Commissioners? Sally, APC, have any comment? Okay. Anybody from the public wish to comment on this rezone? Okay, Bob?
Murtaugh,
Yes.
Byers,
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-04-CM passes 3-0.
On the next case, I did receive a text from the attorney stating that he's running late in traffic, so he may be a few minutes late.
So do we want to skip to the one after that?
Okay. Mr. President, I'll make a motion. We hear ordinance 2020-06-CM.
Second.
Once again, for the record, Dan Teeter. I represent the petitioner on this matter. We're requesting rezone to R1B with commitment. We received a favorable staff report, a unanimous yes vote from Area Planning Commission, both for the rezoning and both for the commitment. This is a 27-acre tract, and at the area plan, they approved the subdivision for 79 lots. It's going to be known as Belterra. Petitioner acquired a franchise to build Epcon homes on this particular site. As you may remember, we did some rezoning for Kim Kreidler for Epcon some time ago on Morehouse Road. That's been a very successful subdivision. We think the same thing will occur at this location as well. I think it's an excellent product for the area. This is a type of product for the empty nester again. We will have a homeowners association. We'll also have a club and a pool as well at this site. They've determined that people that want to downsize, like some of us in this room, still want extra rooms, want four-season rooms, want additional amenities with that. As a result, the reason for this is that we want to increase the lot coverage from 30% to 35%. The commitment is there to say that everything else will stay R1A, which is a minimum 7,500 square foot lot area, a minimum of 60-foot wide lots, 6-foot setbacks on either side, and a minimum of 40% vegetation coverage. So everything really stays the R1A except for the lot coverage, and we feel that this is needed because this is something the clients would like to have. We would request your approval, and again, be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you.
And is the Morehouse Road project completely built out?
It's pretty close. I haven't been out there for 6 months, but it's I want to say pretty close. I won't say it's totally done, but it's, how many?
That's what I saw.
2 lots. So it was a good, successful project.
Great.
The only question I really have, Dan, is we still have the agreement that the 2 different subdivisions will still have fire lanes, supposedly, that they can.
Yeah, that has nothing to do
I
with
just wanted
this.
to make sure that it's still in the minutes and records that we're still allowing that.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any Comments from staff? Sally? Okay. Anyone from the public wish to comment on this rezone? Bob?
Byers?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Murtaugh?
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-06, CM passes 3-0.
Probably want to accept the commitment.
Oh,
Yes, that's right.
and,
I think that's just by voice vote.
okay. Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we accept the commitment on Z2795 K&K Homes LLC as submitted.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion passes. Go ahead and skip to Highway.
Good morning. Our first item, and it should be a bid opening, it should be available. This is for replacement of Bridge 133. If you remember, that's the timber bridge on 100 South near the East County line that the piers collapsed earlier this spring, and it's been open under repairs at a 5-ton limit to this point.
The first bid's from Milestone. With a total itemized proposal of $879,000. Second bid is from Duncan Robertson, Inc. With a total itemized proposal of $727,490.20. Recommend you take those under advisement.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we take those two bids under advisement.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to take those bids under advisement. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. The motion passes, and again, thank you to Milestone and Duncan for their submissions.
And I have a total of 4 continuation certificates to work in county right-of-way, each at a value of $5,000. The first is from Groundwater Environmental Services, the second from Fairfield Contractors, the third from Tri-County Telephone, and the last from West Point Telephone Company.
And we're good with one motion for all 4?
Mr. President, I move that we accept all 4 continuation certificates as stated.
So you have the originals? Okay.
Looking for a second.
Second.
A motion and a second for approval of the continuation certificates as submitted. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Stu.
Mr. President, I move that we hear ordinance 2020-05-CM.
Second.
Mr. Murtaugh?
Hi, Reed Murtaugh, Murtaugh Law LLC, on behalf of the petitioner, Eretz LLC. This was a request for a rezone from R1 to GB. It's the area when you're out driving on State Road 25 where the old Eretz Airport is. On the corner there, there's a northwest parcel that's currently zoned R1. There's 4 adjacent lots that are GB, and really there's just a large area out there that's all GB except this little part that's R1. So we requested that to be rezoned, and there was a 16 yes to 0 no vote on that, and the area plan staff recommends to you to approve that, so we're requesting approval today. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Great, thank you. Commissioners, any questions? APC staff, Sally, any comments? Okay. Do we have any public comment on this proposed rezone? Hearing none, Bob?
Brown?
Yes.
Murtaugh?
Yes.
Byers?
Yes.
Ordinance 2020-05, CM passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Morning, Sharon.
I would like to ask permission to apply for grants for TEMA, Emergency Management Agency for Indiana Homeland Security Foundation grant for the life safety equipment for TEMA. And it possibly could be bomb squad also orientated. Working on the details.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we grant permission to apply for TEMA as stated.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
And the sheriff and community corrections would like to ask permission to apply for the bulletproof vest program to reimburse purchase of necessary vests for new deputies and necessary updates required.
Mr. President, I move we grant permission to apply as stated.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I'd like to ask permission to accept. Originally, we had put this under the sheriff's office, but it's been changed to the commissioner's office after the Department of Justice explained to us how these funds should be spent. Sorry, Bob. The $58,008 from the Department of Justice, Office of Justice Bureau, and the Justice Assistance for the COVID-19 supplies demanded for the next 36 months, and there's no match on this grant.
So, in the minutes, we somehow need to identify that when we granted permission to apply, it was for the sheriff's department, but it's going to be accepted by the commissioner's office. So with that, I'll make a motion to accept as stated.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Is any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion passes.
And finally, in your packet there is 6 different providers for Carry Home Youth Services for their Safe Place program. There's contracts for the assistance in that. We'd like permission to accept those.
Should I read the names so that they're in the minutes?
Yeah, read the names, but I think you can handle them all in one motion.
Okay. All right, Mr. President, I'll make a motion, we approve these professional services agreement for Emily Hardy, Devin Moore, Rebecca Humphrey, Alicia Phillips, Caitlin Ramza.
Last page of that last one.
Okay. Struggling with this one. Oh, Madeline Redoran.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the documents as submitted. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. We have an acceptance certificate to be approved. It's a certificate of substantial completion for the jail security video upgrade project. Any comments, Sheriff?
No, I don't. We approve that, and there's a few things that they have to do, and we all understand that, but I think the project went really well.
Good. It's been underway for, I mean, it was
Quite a
approved
while
earlier in
now.
the year, about 12 months plus.
Yeah.
but Good. Very good. Any questions for the sheriff or comments? Thank you for your patience and working with the contractors and everything. It was a much-needed upgrade, and
Oh, absolutely, and patience, that's my biggest, virtue. I'm the most patient person in the world.
see it on your face right now.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I move that we approve this acceptance certificate as stated.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the certificate. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And the motion passes. And a change order at the fairgrounds.
Deposit.
Yeah, you skipped one.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Third directive concerning the deposit frequency.
And on that one, I don't think you need to necessarily, you gave the president of the commissioners authority to alter deposit frequency, and he did that twice a week, and this one makes it resume to the statutorily normal level of every day. Technically, you don't have to take any action on it, but it's probably best if you just ratify that third directive.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we approve or we ratify that third directive concerning deposit frequency as stated.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now we have a change order for the Fairgrounds project.
This is a change order with Exact Vision software. We changed some of the cameras out there and did not install as many as we thought we were initially needing. So this is a deduct of $11,000. So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the change order as outlined. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. The only thing I have under unfinished business.
Skipped one again.
I'm sorry.
Just doing the even numbers.
It's because I wrote Emily Downey's name next to unfinished business. We do have an appointment to the Tippecanoe County Building Corporation Board with the passing of Jay Reynolds a few weeks ago. So,
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that we appoint Emily Downey to the Tippecanoe County Building Corporation Board.
Second.
we have a motion and a second to appoint Emily Downey to the Building Corporation Board. Any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
That motion passes. Do we have any unfinished or new business? Public comment. Before we go to the public for comment, I want to make just a general statement about last night. I want to begin by thanking the Sheriff's Office for their amazing work in planning for and responding to the event that most know about that occurred last night in our city. A peaceful protest for the most part. I also want to thank Tony Dildine personally and our maintenance staff who worked tirelessly over the weekend as well to prepare for that event. I think we are all still reeling from everything that has happened in the last week, and there's no question that that confidence and trust, not just in law enforcement, but in government as well, has been shaken. Most of us supported the protest yesterday, the assembly, for a lot of reasons. And there were a lot of people that I had an opportunity to interact with yesterday. And certainly, while I appreciate the sentiment and the hard work that comes following that event, we clearly do not condone not only what happened in Minneapolis last week or what's going on across our nation with destruction and violence. A few bad actors spoiled the evening at about 10 o'clock. As you know, as people were leaving the area, then we ended up with some folks that stuck around, and quite frankly, I'm certain that they stuck around and probably knew from the start of the evening that that's where they were going to be before things were finished. So we did sustain some what I would call minimal damage to the courthouse. We can fix glass, and we can clean the spray paint and everything. And we will get back to, today was going to be our first day to be open at the county courthouse, and obviously that is not going to happen because we have some cleanup work, but we will open tomorrow, and I just, and on behalf of the entire Board of Commissioners and county government, implore that citizens, we want your voice to be heard in these times. But there's an appropriate way to do that. And when it involves the destruction of government facilities or personal or private property, looting, those are crimes, and they will be dealt with swiftly. We want everybody to be safe, and we will. I'm confident, again, as I said last night, this is a different place, and we do business differently here. And we'll continue to do that. We'll continue to work together as we have through this pandemic, and we will come out on the other side. So that's my comment. My fellow commissioners?
Well, I think you did a very good job with that. I think it's important for the community to know that just as we do all functions of government, the communication between the Sheriff's Department, the Lafayette Police Department, the West Lafayette Police Department, Purdue, so on and so forth, they were working together to prepare. And so, Bob, hats off to you and to your team. You did a remarkable job. You really did. And again, our maintenance crew, they came in on a beautiful Sunday afternoon and spent their entire day here. So we can't thank them enough for what they did to make sure that we were as prepared as we could be. And we are, we're very, very blessed that nobody's hurt. And we've had very, very minimal damage. But hopefully it was the first wave of that protest was done so well and so organized. And I think Bob said it best when he said that the organizers themselves were the ones that were actually curtailing anything when people got out of hand in that first round. And unfortunately, in the second round, when they came back to the courthouse, that did not happen, and it's incredibly unfortunate. But it's just a sad day, it really is.
Well, it's a sad day that we have to have these days. I think that's the true sad day. I wasn't downtown, but trust me, I was getting texts and emails and this and that and everything else, and I will say thank you to those who were here. Yes, we have the right to speak. Yes, we have the right to voice our opinion, but as Tracy said, once it becomes looting and damage and tearing things up, you cross the line. So, but congratulations to the Sheriff's Department and the police departments and for everybody else that they've done.
Any additional public comment? Okay,
Move to adjourn.
we are adjourned. Now I get used to writing 6-1.
6-1.
June 1st.
Oh, yeah.
6-1. Is it, did we have a May?